With the departure of Dr. Nigel Clarke as the head of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, a new minister was appointed last week by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness.
The Honourable Favour Williams, MP, will assume duties as Minister of Finance and the Public Service. I have assigned my senior advisor, Mr. Alec John, who is highly regarded for his financial expertise, to work closely with the Minister of Finance, newly minted Minister Favour Williams, as well as with other private sector stakeholders.
The appointment of Minister Williams took effect on Wednesday, October 30, making her the first female to head the Finance Ministry. She is not completely new though, having served as the Finance Minister of State prior to her ministerial role in education.
I am deeply honored and profoundly humbled to be given this opportunity to be Jamaica's Minister of Finance. Finance is more than balancing the books. It is about ensuring that every resource we allocate, every policy we enact, and every initiative we launch is a step towards a more prosperous and a more inclusive economy.
Dr. Holness says she has the technical competence and the practical experience and is someone who will continue the path of fiscal discipline.
The idea, of course, is to ensure that whoever is in the Ministry of Finance is a disciple of the government's policy of fiscal discipline. That is what is really important. I could never put anyone there who is going to in any way depart from the hard-earned gains and sacrifice of the Jamaican people to get us to where we are today. And I'm confident that Minister Williams is a disciple.
With the elevation of Minister Williams, her education and youth portfolios were reassigned.
Senator Dr. the Honourable Dana Morris Dixon will assume duties as Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. Also, the consolidation of the skills portfolio, including heart with education, will help to drive our focus on human capital development and to better integrate technical and vocational skills training into the education system.
Meanwhile, Matthew Samuda was reappointed as Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. He will continue to oversee the areas of water and environmental protection.
These appointments are designed to maintain stability and minimize disruption in the functioning of the government, but at the same time, pivot towards a growth-oriented economic policy, as well as to make a priority and focus of human capital development.
Prime Minister Holness also announced the date for by-election in the constituencies of Northwestern St. Andrew and Southern Trelawney to elect members of Parliament.
Nomination day will be Wednesday, November 6, 2024, and Election day will be Friday, November 22nd, 2024, for both constituencies. I encourage all eligible voters to exercise their constitutional right to vote and participate actively in the democratic process.
It was further announced that these dates would also facilitate by-elections to appoint councillors for the Morant Bay Division in St. Thomas and the Anon Town Division in Clarendon.
There is no doubt that Nigel is a special resource for Jamaica, that he has served with great dignity, poise, and confidence.
That was Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness in Parliament last week Tuesday, as the House paid tribute to Dr. Nigel Clarke, who tendered his resignation as Minister of Finance. He acknowledged Dr. Clarke for his contribution to the government and the people of Jamaica.
I'm very pleased to have been associated with you, Nigel. I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to work with you to get all of what we have accomplished done. But I've always known that Nigel's skills and his service is not always going to be local in focus. There are other countries that need to benefit from the experience of Jamaica.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness was at King's House for the swearing-in of Justice Chantal Onaniwu as judge of the Caribbean Court of Justice CCJ. She is the second Jamaican to hold that office. Dr. Holness described the appointment as an extraordinary achievement.
Her journey is a testament to dedication, resilience, and a remarkable pursuit of excellence that has brought her to this esteemed position on the bench of the Caribbean Court of Justice.
Over in St. Catherine, Dr. Holness assured residents of the St. Andrew Northwestern communities of Akiwalk and Jacksontown that the government was taking steps to regularize their land ownership. As he addressed a town hall meeting in the area, the Prime Minister informed that they would be assisted in obtaining titles for properties they have lived on for several years.
So the process today is to bring together all the entities of government that can solve this problem of your title to the land.
Closing out the week of activities, Prime Minister Holness met with representatives from the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica. The team expressed gratitude to the government for its support to persons suffering from the disease, one of which is the subsidy of medication through the National Health Fund, NHF.
We looked at the number of persons suffering from lupus, the fiscal impact on the fund itself, and it was a bit prohibitive relative to all other diseases and the numbers that are affecting the cost of the drugs for other diseases. But we decided that we would go ahead and help those persons.
Dr. Holness also met with officers and representatives from the Department of Correctional Services. The Prime Minister was updated on measures in place to facilitate reintegration of offenders into society.
I will always maintain that offenders ought to be punished. But punishment is not the end, it's not the resolution. Restoration is the ultimate end of the wrong or a conflict. And the custodial services, correctional services, the ultimate end of their work is restoration.
And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.